A series of mysterious disappearances occurring beneath the ancient willow tree. Rumors spread about a malevolent spirit lurking within the willow, draining the life force of anyone who dares to approach. Can the local shaman break this deadly curse, or will the entire village be engulfed in an endless sea of blood? The terrifying Willow Tree Chap 3. In the dim moonlight, Officer Non, hanging upside down on the willow tree, was also experiencing despair and fear. He felt the pain from each branch reaching out like demonic arms, holding him tightly, not letting him escape death's grip. Officer Non, despite facing his own danger, still tried to save his friend. He reached out, trying to touch his friend being pulled into the hollow tree, but all he felt was emptiness and futility. "Hold on to my hand. Don't give up," Non shouted, but his voice was swallowed by the night's darkness. Despite his efforts, it was futile. The pain and despair seemed to take over his mind and body, making him feel helpless against the spooky willow tree's power. He knew his efforts might be in vain against the tree's cruelty, but at that moment, a mysterious man in a black cloak walked on the rocky path, the light from his staff reflecting on his contemplative face. He was the skilled monk the villagers had hoped for, the one who would bring them salvation from the spooky willow tree's evil. As the monk approached the willow tree, the atmosphere grew tense. The monk began performing ancient rituals, his sacred movements and mystical sounds shimmering in the night. The willow tree began to emit cries of pain and hiss, as if enduring the impact of a powerful supernatural force. As the skilled monk started to cast ancient spells, the spooky willow tree reacted in horror. Its branches shook in agitation, like ghosts wandering in the dark night. The growling sounds from within the tree echoed, creating a chilling and fearful sensation. Each branch seemed wounded, bending and twisting like giant snakes writhing under the powerful curse cast by the monk. The branches began to wither and blacken, but their brutality didn't cease. The monk stood firm against the tree's threats. He held his magical staff tightly and began to summon his powers. The magical light from the staff illuminated the entire forest in the dark night. The surrounding villagers felt a trembling in their bodies as they watched the spooky willow tree face off against a skilled monk. Fear and anxiety spread through each step, each glance, as they witnessed the battle between the monk's ultimate power and the tree's brutality. The spooky willow tree reacted to the monk's power by emitting painful screams, trying to break free from the man's control. Realizing the increasing danger, the willow tree released the two officers and began to attack the monk, its branches retracting, leaves falling like rain, and roots reaching out like hands to pull the monk into the hollow tree. But the monk did not yield. He deployed all his abilities. With incantations and skilled movements, he delivered a decisive blow to the willow tree. The two officers, newly freed, couldn't escape the horror and fear of witnessing the tree's brutality. They sensed the great and terrifying power of the tree, but also felt hope when they realized the monk seemed to be winning the battle. Though fear was still present, the witnesses also felt a spark of hope that perhaps the tree's brutality would be defeated, and they could live in peace and safety again. Finally, the ancient magic's power and the monk's determination triumphed, forcing the spooky willow tree to succumb and face destruction. The willow tree's branches gradually withered, the tree died, and the curse was destroyed. As the willow withered, its outer bark began to peel and crumble, revealing inside the bones of the missing people. Their faces still bore the marks of pain and despair, bringing tears to their loved ones. Now, the willow's horror and brutality were exposed to everyone, leaving them astonished and terrified. The previous disappearances were all caused by the tree, which devoured the victims and hid their bones and souls within its trunk. At night, it controlled their souls to lure others to be eaten, continuing the cycle. But the crucial point now was, the monk's actions had brought salvation to the two officers and the villagers. They were saved from the clutches of death and the spooky willow tree. As the atmosphere calmed, the villagers felt a gentle sense of hope rising in their hearts. Though the horror still lingered in every corner of the village, they knew they had overcome a great challenge and had a hero to help them through.